Hello there, I'm Tim and this is How to Murder Feet, a very long attempt at the England Coast Path. I made it so far to Essex. This is the Chelmer Bridge in Maldon and I've got all the gear ready to go for a thrilling week on the Essex Fens. Of course I've been screwed by the trains already today, so this is actually was it Sunday the 28th of April, I think. Hang on, let me check. Yep, Sunday 28th of April, and it's about 2:30. So yes, a lot of passers-by as well, not liking that. Yeah, so I've been screwed by the trains today already. So a connecting train that I was kind of told by Google would definitely be there and was relying on was 2 hours late. Well, cancelled. Next one was 2 hours late, which means that I'm 2 hours later starting than I wanted to be today, which means I've got to do 13 miles in 6 hours. So that's 2 miles an hour, go that way, and I can't really talk and gabble on here particularly. I'm so flustered I've bollocksed up the start as well, you see. I can't even be bothered to retake because I don't have time, so I'll do a map bit and some actual background stuff in a way, but first I've got to find where the acorns go, up that way and round that way somewhere. I'll probably talk to you more calmly later. Found it. Good start. It's into that light industrial and business and retail park. Okay. Here we go. Press pause for more information, etc. Please stay on the sea wall. Yes, definitely. Hang on, let's try not to. Well, that's probably all quite rumbly. Yeah, I'll sort the microphone out. Okay, so yes. So today, well, we're going way over here somewhere. So, but we're starting here today, and I'm going to try and get to somewhere around here for dropping bag and doing the necessary. It's still very noisy here as well, so I don't feel I can talk too much. But yes, there's a single continuous path up to Salcott, which is good, and then I think they're suggesting get a bus back, so we'll see. Anyway, this is today's job, and I'm running out of time because I'm 2 hours late, so just getting all of this done today. Let's crack on. I mean, as long as I get beyond Goldhanger, I think anywhere around here will do. I can make up the mileage tomorrow. 13 miles today, 13 miles tomorrow as well, which and I'll have the whole day to do that. So all this transport nonsense. Right, I need to get away from this really noisy road because it's doing my head in. It's been that kind of day so far. Right, up there then, so here we go. Sign's taking us into a light retail park now. Well, industrial park, offices, whatever. I don't know. But it's certainly quieter now, and I can hear myself think again. I'm less stunned and poleaxed by it all. So let's start again. Hello, my name's Tim. As part of a sort of ongoing life journey quest thing, I started doing the Southwest Coast Path as a sort of week by week holiday hiking trip with backpack about 7 years ago now. I succeeded. Again, much to my own surprise. 4 years later, 4 and a bit years later, I managed to get to Poole Harbour, and I thought, well, what am I going to do myself now? And it became quite a serious major thing, kind of what I do in my holidays. So I kept going. And so here we are. This is Haybridge. It's a small village town tacked onto the north of Maldon, and we're heading back out to the Chelmer River, I think it's called, so the Chelmer Bridge. That river goes all the way up inland about 15 miles to Chelmsford, where I just got a train to and a bus from. And I can tell you, the bus station there is an education. Well, I mean, no more so than any other bus station in a large major hub on a Sunday afternoon, but there you go. Anyway, so here I am now. Yes, my travel arrangements went awry. See, the reason I'm doing this on Sunday the 28th of April at the moment, and not the Saturday I normally do it on. Oh, hello. Yeah, acorns. Oh, I become physically calmer when I see an acorn, you know. It's become Pavlovian at this point. Anyway, yes, the reason I'm doing this on a Sunday, not the usual Saturday, first Saturday in May or whatever, is that, well, for starters, Eurovision Song Contest is next week, and I'd already promised to go to a Eurovision party, so couldn't book that week. But this week, yeah, this week I'm I thought I'd do it in early May because I wanted a spare opportunity to book a second week at the end of May if things went really bad weather-wise, and they did almost. You're seeing the tail end of a pretty biblical storm that came through here yesterday, Saturday evening, which fundamentally would have meant me spending a night on the fens in a tent with black cloud 2 raindrops, according to the Met Office. So I thought, well, rather than try and trudge through all of that, put the tent up and tent down. I mean, my tent's waterproof and everything. Once I'm in, I'm fine, but it's the setting up and taking down and then about half a day each sides of walking in the morning and the afternoon. And all in all, I decided to shunt it backwards a day, so start on Sunday instead of Saturday. And here we are. But of course, Sunday trains, that's when all the engineering works happens. I don't think a reason was given for the cancelled Great Western link that I needed this morning, but I could have looked it up, I guess. But yes, so I had to wait for the next one to connect through, and that meant I'd missed the bus that I was going to use from Chelmsford to Maldon. Oh, nightmare. But then that's travel, isn't it? You watch your Michael Palins and your Simon Reeves and people like that race around the world on BBC. It's another series at the moment. They're doing Southeast Asia, like Japan, Korea, Vietnam, that kind of thing. Very exciting. But yeah, mine's a bit more of a modest endeavour. So I'm in Maldon, more or less. You can just see the steeple in the distance still from the centre of the town there, which interestingly enough is 13 miles north of Southend-on-Sea, which is where I got to last September. I've been doing winter day trips all the way since then. I only managed 13 miles in a straight line. It's actually been about 75 to 100 or so of actual day staging because of the ridiculous nature of the river estuaries around this part of the world, which carries on today. So today, starting in Maldon, 20 miles that way as the crow flies is Clacton-on-Sea, a seaside town on the Essex coast. I don't think I've even reached Suffolk yet. And 20 miles, if I walked in a straight line and at a reasonable early start, could do in one day quite comfortably. But I've actually managed to plot out a coastal path route. I've got all the bits of paper. I'm not going to get them out right now, but all the route planning stages for the England Coast Path from the gov.uk website. Got all those for this bit. I think there's 4 pieces of paper there, and it describes a wiggly, zigzaggy sort of line that essentially means I've got a 80-mile week. Going to travel 80 miles to do 20 miles of progress. Yeah, so Sunday today. Monday will be further up into Tollesbury. I'm trying to get to Tollesbury Wick today. This is probably not much use without a map. I'll probably get a map out a bit later when I found some proper shelter. It's a little bit breezy. Weather's settling down now. I think, to be honest, I think this right now, it's a little bit splattery here and there, but I think this is probably the worst weather I'm going to expect all week. Because I put it off a day, I missed some really bad weather, and now I think I've got a good week, so that's good. Yeah. So yeah, it's basically up to Mersey Island. We'll go to Solcott where the path ends, or the finished path. Then there's a bit of inland detour road work, and then we're going to the Isle of Mersey along a causeway thing. I'm going to circumnavigate that. There is a path all the way around that, although the ECP planning stage doesn't think so. We'll see what we see when we get there. Then, because I'm not allowed to use ferries, i.e. the ferry from Mersey straight across to Brightlingsea, I have to go upriver to Colchester. Quite far that way, up a river whose name I haven't looked up yet. Then back down the other side of that river, all the way down past Brightlingsea, round the corner and up a bit to Clacton-on-Sea, which has a pier, which I've decided will be the end of this week. I've deliberately kept this a short week because I'm a bit nervous about it all. Last time I've done any proper big backpack hiking stuff was this time last year, coming out of Margate, and that was a bit of a disastrous week really by my high exacting standards. Only managed 4 days out of the planned 7, and I only did about half of the distance I'd planned. But then I had planned about 150 miles in 7 days, which was just mad. I've been much more careful with the measuring this time, and I've been very conservative with my estimations as well. So I think 80 miles in 5 days should be reasonable. So that's what we're going to try and do. I'm going to make some more progress, and I'll talk to you again soon. But that's a bit of a overall high-level notes, bullet points, as it were. Let's see where this goes. Oh, it's a relaxing pan shot, I know I am. So that's Promenade Park, I think, on the other side. We came through there at the end of last time. That's Maldon. All its majesty. Big old hill on the top there. Fortunately, coming down only this time. Got the bus to the top and then wandering down. A lot of development here. It's a big floodplain. Big old, relatively recent, modernish looking estate here. It's quite nice, quite pretty. I do like that. So some sort of tricycle with the two wheels at the front. Anyway, yes. So yeah, it was basically hooking onto this side of the river now and just following it all the way back out to the sea. I mean, we're past Osea Island, I think, the causeway to that. Saw that last time. Probably be able to see Northney Island as well, but the causeway to that was on the other side, so we'll be seeing that. But, yeah, weather seems to have calmed a little. Might get a few more splatters here and there, but I think this stuff is just the tail end of this enormous low pressure super rain front thing that came blasting through here Friday and Saturday. Made a right old mess of the place. That's the problem. Although I'm assured by the Met Office there'll be no more inclement weather for the rest of the week. It did rain quite a lot and make this quite wet and slippery, which may impede my progress somewhat. I'm not too worried. We'll get where we get, to be honest, and then drop the bag once it's too dark to continue. But I'd like to try and keep some sort of schedule running if I can. I honestly didn't think I was far enough away from where I live now to need whole days of travelling and then staying in a hotel or B&B or whatever. But that may come soon. That may come before too many weeks heading north. Trains are just really unreliable. I've been doing this on and off for about 7 years now. 4 trips a year on average by train in this manner. There and back twice, September and May, and I have to say I think I'm probably running on about 60% of trips went the way I wanted them to and went the way I planned them, you know. I think I was looking at least 40% of all of the engineering works, or the railway just didn't want to work, or there was a strike or something. I don't remember in my childhood if the rails... Everyone talks about nationalisation, and I do remember British Rail. I do remember the old slam door trains in the 80s. We had first, second and third class back then. And I can't honestly tell you right now if they were more or less reliable than they are today, because I just don't remember. So I don't know if nationalisation will help. Still, there it is. I think what will help is me just really giving a lot more margin of error time. I mean, I essentially put 2 hours of spare on today for the vagaries of the trains and whatnot, and I've used them up, so I'm pretty much exactly on the wire now. So basically nothing else can go wrong today, which is fine. So yes, once again striking off into the back country with a heavy bag and a sense of push, because my arrangements have let me down, or the people I've been depending on to facilitate my arrangements have let me down, perhaps. Anyway, I don't want to start off this week on such a downer, but things will only get better, certainly in terms of weather, in terms of distance, scenery, etc. Not going to be anywhere near another major road until we get to Colchester on day 4. So yeah, I had to mark on my maps where I think shops and pubs are, because it might be a little bit remote on some of these stages. Brought 3 litres of water this time. That was an improvement from last go. Last time I seriously had to get one of these, I had a lot of trouble looking for water every day, because fundamentally, I've done a lot of research on this, looking up websites and blogs and things. People say it should be like 1 litre for every 6 miles or so of travel, which, you know, I suppose varies by climate. I'm going to be sweating a lot today, I don't think, but what I find is 2 litres will just about do me for a day's hike, and then I'll have none during the night, and it turns out I do actually need a fair bit of water during the night just to recover, just to aid my sleeping and recovery and so on. So 3's probably right, so extra kilogram, more weight. Let's see. So yes, today's plan then is just to get as far along here as I can. I'm aiming for somewhere called Tollesbury Wick. Specifically Tollesbury Wick Railway Pier. Once upon a time there was an old railway that used to run out onto a pier. I don't know why, for historic reasons, probably some mercantile thing. I get some vague idea that Maldon is famous for salt. I don't know if that's the case these days, but table salt. Maybe it was something to do with that, evaporation pans, and it all goes out onto a train to a pier to go on a boat, perhaps. We'll see when we get there. Probably, maybe today, perhaps early tomorrow otherwise. There's not much there now, but it looked to me like a good place to just do a quick necessary, you know, do an overnighter, but we shall see. Basically, I don't know how fast I can get along here. 2 miles an hour is not unreasonable. But it doesn't leave me much time for stopping and dawdling or sitting on benches, but then that's okay, because Although the rain has stopped, there's a bit of a breeze, which means I don't want to be just sat on a bench for long periods of time. Got enough gear, survival gear, layers, etc., underlayers, merino, such and such, coat and such, to be all right. Particularly once I've got the tent and bag up, in the bag, that should be all okay. But it is a bit cooler than it normally is this time of year. Certainly in the earlier part of this week, about 5 degrees less. I don't know. I think I'll be all right. It's a three-season sleeping bag. So, but yeah, just a few challenges this week. Set me up with. I'm good. So I think if we follow this round, we join a canal that runs along the back edge there. The Chelmer Navigation, it's called, because all that clutter up there isn't suitable for taking a narrow boat through. So there's another way around, which then forms a canal that leads all the way inland to Chelmsford and perhaps beyond. I don't really know our nation's canal networks very well. It's not really my bag. I'm more of a coast guy. This might be a famous canal route start or something. Don't know. Well, I'm not sure you really want to be taking narrow boats out to sea anyway. But there should be a lock somewhere up there. At the far corner of that pond, there'll be a lock bridge we can cross over onto the actual river edge proper. And then, yeah, we just start working our way out to sea again. See what we can see. Nice to see the sea. I mean, I'm looking forward to Clacton. Clacton has a pier. I do like a pier, as regular followers will know. I should probably try and get an ice cream, regardless of the temperature, just to be defiant. But yeah, mostly it's going to be this kind of thing, I think. In and out of Essex River estuaries for pretty much of the week. And that's okay. This needs doing, and then we're through and we're on to the next bit. Although I think looking at the next bit, which is up behind Felixstowe and Harwich, I think there's a lot of very long inland detours up rivers as well. May culminate in a visit to Ipswich at one point, so you know, who knows. Not going to worry about next week. I'll get through this week first. It's nice to be out again. I still have the big bag on. I know it's heavy, it's wearying, but it does give me a sense of adventure, a sense of purpose. Doing the thing again, you know, the thing I bore everyone about the rest of the year. The sad part is I couldn't do the thing anymore. Alright, well, bye bye Maldon. Won't be seeing you again. Probably not ever, thinking about it. So I'll have to come back through here on the transport route home. I'll go back on the train through Colchester and back through Chelmsford, I think. And yes, I should never see this river again. I could be uncharitable and say good, but it's all part of the thing. Onward. Sort of a little sailing club or yacht school or something over there. Pattering up the river. Nice. Oh, it is good to be back. It's good to be doing this again. And the through hiking too, you know, they're not having to worry about driving home. Worries of a different kind, I suppose, but yeah. So that's Heybridge Basin up ahead. Marina, locks, etc. Boat yards and the like. So I think we're looking at the northern side of Northney Island. I mean, the deep channel goes through this side, so there's no way onto there from here. Causeway was over there, we saw that last time. Didn't actually go on it. Never mind. OC Island further on. Not sure we can really see that properly yet. Now, let me just come back in zoom mode. I wish you could dynamically turn that on and off. You have to stop and start filming to actually do it. Right, so in the distance, that's Bradwell Power Station. The big aluminium boxes decommissioned, silent as the grave. We were there a long time ago, midwinter sometime. But Tollesbury Wick, the area I have in mind, is somewhat opposite that across the river. So we've got quite a bit of way to do today still. Probably another 8 miles or so before dark. But the sun's quite high, and we're now into late April, early May. I think sunset is 8:30ish, 8:15, something like that in the evening. So actually got quite a long time. It's good. We are in British summertime now, probably since last we spoke. So yeah, I'm optimistic about my progress. My knees are okay. I had a bit of worry. I thought the bag might be too heavy for the knee after last time's trip ended trip. But no, knee's fine. I haven't had any quirks from the knees all the time I was doing all the day trip stuff along there. But that was only with I don't know, 4 kilogram bag, So, but I have been doing little bits and pieces of hiking all throughout the winter. After I finished in Maldon, I managed a trip to Wiltshire around Stonehenge. Did a big 7 mile, 8 mile round trip yomp one Sunday, and then I think I did a bit around Weston-super-Mare just to get a sneak preview of the coast path at the far end. Spoilers. I couldn't find it actually. I know for a fact it runs along the promenade at Weston-super-Mare, but there were no signs anywhere. Yeah. And I climbed a local hill called Brent Knoll, which sort of sits in the middle of this massive flat sort of Somerset Levels area. And from the top of there you could see the little glint of white in the far distance to the southwest, which marks out the super gaudy outdoor awning thing that they have at Butlins holiday camp in Minehead. So I actually saw the end of the England coast path about 2 or 3 weeks ago in the distance. But in terms of actual walking, a long way to go there. So yeah. Some concrete there, don't know what that was. And we're cracking on. Oh, you can see the windmills south of Bradwell, just in the horizon there. Yeah, looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to getting to the end of this river mouth and then seeing what lies beyond, which actually might not even happen. Well, I suppose once we get to Mersea, we'll be looking at the North Sea properly. We'll be out of this estuary, certainly. Oh well, let's go. Let's do more. That's the Heybridge Basin lock gates, and you can see how much rain there's been recently. It's just a weir at the moment. I mean, it's fairly high tide as well out there, but it's very high. Yeah. That's the start of the canal bit. It goes further off that way somewhere. Not my problem today. Yeah. That's my problem. Good. Pretty enormous beach huts here. This one's got a FAQ written on the side. You'll have to pause and try and zoom and read. There's quite a lot of them. Madness. Alright, working my way along the north still. It's all good. Should be at Heybridge soon. Very high tide. Just reached the Mill Beach Resort, apparently. Nothing there for me. Just look at these skies though, fantastic. A dark patch gone over at the moment. I don't think it's actually going to drop anything on me. A few splatters over there, but that sort of seems to be going kind of that way a bit. On the south side of the river. So it might be alright. Yeah, look at these skies. Fantastic. Can't decide if I want my coat on or off. If I keep going, keep working hard, it's better with it off. But as soon as I stop, I start to feel the breeze a bit. Big old lugger or something. Yeah. It's nice in a sort of brooding kind of way. A bit of surreality for you. The beach huts of OC. We'll all be living like that one day. Oh. So here we are at the OC Causeway, which is private. No unauthorised access, go away, etc, etc, etc. I mean, it's high tide as well anyway, so I was going to go and pop over there if I'd arrived with time and tide on my side, but today is providing me with neither. And anyway, it's private, so there we go. I think you could go to North Knee Island and have a look around at some of its National Trust, but no coastal access rights, go away. Canned. Yeah, strictly no trespassing. Ooh, that makes me want to try that. Unfortunately, your massive moat seems to be effective. Oh, I don't expect there's much on there anyway. It's a bit of private land, some manor, little manor, country mega cottage of some sort. Right, anyway, we're going this way. It looks like we're leaving civilization behind. We've reached far into this holiday park. This all looks a bit more wild. So there's a village called Goldhanger somewhere on the left, but I'm not planning on detouring in to go and see it. My research showed that there was a pub there, but I just don't have time to sit and drink. You know, not even a pint of lemonade and a bag of crisps. I mean, we've had some stuff on the trains and things, so all right. But yeah, well, it occurs to me as I'm not driving home, I am allowed to drink. Have a pint of something or other, but not today. Maybe on future days as we meander along this coastline. I mean, tomorrow I've got exactly the same mileage to do as today, only I start about 10 hours earlier. No, about 6 hours earlier, I think. So yeah, it all gets a bit more easy going. So I'll show you some maps later, but I don't really want to debag at the moment. I mean, there's two 16-mile days and then some more smaller ones, 13s and 12s. I've really tried to keep it short, this one, you know, try and do a proper week, try and get some actual progress done on the older ECP, but I need to, I don't know, Saltmarsh Coast Trail, I just sort of feel like I need to work back into it again. My confidence has completely taken a knock over last year's shenanigans. I mean, I managed to cover a lot of ground last year, you know, 2023 through to now, but that was all day trips, which feels like cheating a bit. Doing it this way, I haven't done in like basically since this time last year, and even then I failed that trip. I had to bail early. So I do feel like I've taken a knock. I do wonder if I can still do this, which is why I've kind of planned myself a quite an easy week compared to some I've done. I hope I can manage that. We'll see. I'm feeling okay at the moment, hale and hearty. Nothing obviously wrong so far. So yeah, let's just crack on, I suppose. But yeah, it's just this bloody push first day again. I'm going to have a serious word with myself about my planning in future. Don't just take, because Google does a great job of plotting, you know, you say I am here and I want to go here, show me routes by public transport, and it does all the connections for you, it shows you what platform everything is on. That's fine as long as nothing sudden and unexpected happens. You will get there pretty much when Google says you will, but anything even slightly goes wrong and it all has to recalculate, and then you've missed your planned start. Wouldn't have killed me to plan to be here to be at the start at Maldon 2 hours early and then just sit in a coffee shop until I want to start, or to start early, whatever. Still, there it is, lessons learned, I guess. Bit more contingency planning. Still, adaptability is half of it. When things do go weird, what do? Break down and cry? No, come up with an alternate plan and do it, basically. So there's that, you know. It's nice not to need the alternate plan every goddamn time. These clouds are fantastic. Supernatural almost. I can't believe I haven't been rained on. I mean, the Met Office said it wouldn't happen, so said there was going to be some overcast but very low chance of actual rain in this latter part of the day. These are just spectacular, they really are. Start taking a few photos. Yeah, it's a bit of a chill wind. I mean, I'll be alright once the tent's up. I'll try and find some wind shadow. I'm not hopeful given the spot I've got picked out. It does look a bit bleak, but my tent should be able to cope, should be able to hold. We'll see. Don't even know if I'm going to make it to where I had picked out today. Make it too dark to continue, in which case I will just look for something wherever I happen to be. I get less choosy as the night goes on generally. Less worried. Right, so still quite a long way to go today though, regardless of where I end up. Still need to try and get the best part of the mileage done for today, even if I don't exactly hit the 13. I should hope to at least get 10 done before dark. So yeah, cracking on. What time is it anyway? I've completely lost track. 16:23. Okay, so I've been going about 2 hours so far, and have about 4 hours till dark. I don't know what that equates to in distance, but it's doing well. Long day though. It's the travel. I think, to be honest, I think further north from here I might have to start doing a Saturday travel day, stay in a hotel, start Sunday anyway, like I did for like Penzance and Padstow and St Ives. Just starting to be such a faff to get out here. Even it took me 6 hours to get here. I mean, obviously it takes 3 hours to drive, but I think normally if that train hadn't broken or gone missing, it would have taken me 4 hours, but it's still, even with public transport, it's still not day trippable anymore. We are well into the through hiking Wick expeditions territory again now. Right, keep going. Enjoying this path though, it's very well laid out. In theory I should have a clean, clear, well marked, uninterrupted path all the way to Solcott, which is like midway through, well, to be honest, the end of tomorrow more or less, according to my planning. Beyond there it all gets a bit dicey, a bit weird. Significant inland road detours. We'll have to see, find my way as best I can. But yeah, the path is technically open and complete up to Solcott from here. So yeah, enjoying the lack of navigational challenge, which is good because it helps me get more distance in. This stuff's easier going than a peat bog with no signage. Right, keep at it. Actually, I'm using the Bradwell power station as my sort of guiding star. Just sort of see it. Looks at those shrubs. I basically end up more or less across the opposite the bank from there, I think. We'll see. We got a heron, ibis, stork. Got to turn sideways. Hunched down, whatever it is, quite windy. I think maybe a heron. See if you get those around the business park where I work. Oh, seen me, I think. Flappy, stringy feather headdress type arrangement. Who knows? Unusual red. Don't know what that is. Looks like that stuff, which I want to say is heather, but it's probably not. Something else that comes in a red variety, I think. You know, there's something very wrong with that plant. Ooh, see a couple of them over there as well, although I thought those were rhododendrons. A red field this. Almost Devon-like. Don't know what causes that. Distant dogs going mad, good. Stay distant. How are we doing? It's yeah, just coming up on 5 o'clock. Got 3.5 hours to go, 3 hours-ish. Should give me another 6 miles. I'm not quite sure if I've reached Goldhanger yet. I think there might be Goldhanger over there. But I think I do turn a corner and there's like a little jetty or wharf or something. So I might have to give myself a sit down for a bit. I know I'm on the clock and push, whoops. Trying to drop the phone as well. Yeah, like I say, yeah, no, I'm on the clock and everything, but probably do need to have a little bit of a sit down, just to rejuvenate the muscles a little. Still loving these skies. Turbulent week. Well, last week certainly was. There was so much rain all over the place. We've had more rain like since last October than any other year since records began. It's like a record rainfall season, winter, whatever. Lots of farmers, particularly in the West Country, Gloucester and so on, complaining that lots of their crops are underwater and just won't grow. Wait, lost harvests. It's probably too late to plant something else as well. So yeah, don't know what that means. Certainly means I need to pack more waterproofs when I do this kind of thing anyway. But yeah, is that the new normal? And us British like to complain about the weather, certainly, but there's limits. Right, so let me swing around to the left and go up towards Goldhanger, see what's what. And to be honest, anything beyond Goldhanger and before Tollesbury is good enough for me, I think. But we'll see. I'm trying to keep going as much as I can today. Make up a bit of ground, well, at least keep to the schedule if nothing else. It's pretty quiet out here now. I'm quite remote, quite far from everywhere. Haven't seen any other pedestrians since that last holiday park. They were all coming back. I'm heading out. It's getting late for heading out, unless you've got arrangements. Yeah. Bench. I'll have to sit down on some nuts in a minute, but there's this weird shed here as well. I don't know what it's for. Certainly not war vintage. Much more recent than that. It's got a hatch. Ice cream shop. Something to do with sailing, I don't know. Look out. Tiny beach. Generic warning triangle. Yeah. 2 benches. I'm spoiled. Which one? Who's got the most imaginative plaque? Let's make them compete for my posterior. Clive Shrub, 1935 and 2010, sailing on. Yeah, certain simplicity to that one. Now this one looks more elaborate. What we got? Sam Cross. Sam loved his daily walks along the seawall with Roxy, taken from us far too soon. In a hot you'll always stay, loved and missed every day. 83 to 23. Oh, he's quite young. Yeah, taken far too soon. 40? Oh, I don't know then. Maybe I'll sit on that third one over there. Maybe that one has nothing to say. No judgments to make. Let's keep going. Oh, there are people coming along the path the other way. Yeah, I think I'm over there next. We'll go do this inlet and then we come back along that far side and then onward to Tollesbury. See what we can see. Here we go, this is just a bench. I think I generally feel happier just sitting on this one. Right, I'm going to force myself to take 15 minutes of water and peanuts. Peanuts, you heard me. And then stare at the sky for a bit. Look at that one. Whew. Looks like a sandworm erupting on wheels. Some ones over there too. Yeah, I'm just going to stare at the sky for a bit. Fantastic. I could sit down with some nuts. All good. What difference a day makes. I mean, this time yesterday I was at home wondering if my own roof would hold against the rain, let alone worrying about camping. Now look, blue sky, the sun, the evening session. Yeah, it's taking the edge off the wind quite nicely. That could just be the shelter of that whole section there. But, very pleasant all of a sudden. You almost believe it would be May this week. Yeah, I think I'm out on May Day. Am I? What day is it today? It's 28th today, Monday 29th, Tuesday 30th. Is it 31 or 30? I can never remember. But either Wednesday or Thursday will be the 1st of May. Yeah, it's good. Yeah. There's all those wind turbines to the south of Bradwell. We went past those along the Dengie marshes. That's the problem with this part of the world. You go a long way and not get very far at all. I don't know, is that a metaphor? Certainly following the coast path anyway. All the zigzagging ins and outs. Taking days and days to reach, you know, the other side of a river that's only like a quarter of a mile wide. But yeah, it's alright, it's what it is. I don't mind. I mean, I'd like to finish it before I become physically unable to do this sort of thing anymore, but it's the travelling, it's the doing, that's the thing. And I'm being followed by a dog and people. Alright, better stop gabbing on and head down and get involved in some horrific overtake race. Yeah, and just when I was starting to enjoy myself. Yeah, some shadow in the way. Some information here. Joyce's Marsh. A list of birds that can be found here. Not seeing adder on that list, which admittedly is not a bird, but still reassuring by its absence. Yeah. Right. Oh, it's just got that magic golden light afternoon thing going on now. I'm enjoying myself immensely. Because to be honest, this morning I was finding myself a bit down and a bit anxious about the feasibility of doing this at all. Obviously I've done it before, but how do I know I can do it again? I don't know, you just have to go for it, I guess. But anyway, no, it's all turning out fine so far. You know, it's like day one of a 6-day trip, but you know, I'm optimistic, confident even. Right, so I'm going to get down to the end of here, so we're back on the river again after this big bay. And then I'll do a bit of map work, a bit of working out where I am, what time it is, etc. Still a bit breezy to be unbagging all the actual route maps and stuff. I'll do some of that tomorrow if I can. Show you where's what's what. But I mean, you know, the more astute of you can probably find it all on Google. OpenStreetMap Reader as well. It's my excellent side-by-side tools. Some sort of building over there. Going to go past that. Some sort of boathouse or something. Don't know. If we just keep walking, we'll find out. Still tracking OC over there, or no C, as I like to call it. The big fat no when you try and go there. Dr. No C. It's clearly a sort of shabby, second-rate Bond villain lair, isn't it? Who knows what guns over there? I suppose there's a missile silo of some sort. Good. Feeling the push a bit, but it's a wholesome kind of burn. So I'm just going to keep at it. What's in there? Nice sheep, a bit grey. I'll find out when I get nearer. Okay, moving on. Locked up. Don't know if it's necessarily abandoned. Probably not anyone in there at the moment. Just chatting to a chap coming the other way with a big bag and the sticks. He's some retired guy. He saw my big bag and said I was the first he'd seen with the tent and everything today. Likewise, yeah, he's B&Bing it, but he's some retired chap who's doing basically the opposite direction, doing the path. So he told me about some of the conditions up past Salcott, where apparently it is that high on the path instead of this. I mean, I kind of knew that beyond Salcott the path was pretty much non-existent, so you sort of get some confirmation there. So yeah, it's probably a bit of inland road to do tomorrow then. No, not tomorrow, beyond tomorrow, yes, other day. Confusing myself. Yeah, he's made a lot more progress than I have. He's been doing it less time than me, but he pointed out he was retired. I mean, I only managed 2 weeks of this a year now, going north. Maybe more, maybe I can squeeze more in, but certainly I can't just crack on out every week and do bits of it all the time. Right, so I need to head down and keep moving. I think I'm beyond halfway of my planned day. I don't think I'm going to make my chosen spot today because, well, apart from anything else, there's 2 hours of daylight left and it's 6 miles away, I think. Which means I have to do 3 miles an hour, which is a brisk walking pace under normal conditions, like if you're on your way to work or something. But probably won't make it. Well, that's okay, because I'm just seeing loads of spots that would do in a pinch, just to throw the tent down, you know. So I don't think I'm going to have much of a problem finding somewhere, and then I can make up any lost mileage I meant to do today tomorrow. Because tomorrow's a 13-mile day, only I've got 15 hours of daylight to do it in, so plenty of time to play catch up. Good. Right, well, I'm just going to do a bit more zen-like trudging. See where we end up. Yeah, bit of off-grid living here. It's just the bit where I get murdered. Looks empty. Keep going for a bit. I mean, I'm not going to have any trouble finding anywhere. It's just a question of when I want to stop. I think there's like these every couple of, every sort of half mile or so. There's something like this. No footpath. Okay, keep going. So yeah, not that worried. Choose when to stop. Start seriously looking at 7:30 or so. Good. Yeah, I don't think I'll get the mileage done that I was hoping for today, but that's okay. I'm not going to push it or break myself trying to catch up for something that's not my fault. It's all good. 6:30. Going to make myself do another 10-minute rest because it seemed to help. It seemed to have beneficial recuperative properties, restorative properties, whatever. Don't think I need any more nuts just now, but certainly a swig of water will do. Bench of the Dead, here we go. Nick Volstead, 1977 to 2006. Something, Litchen. I don't know, rest in peace. Looks kind of like rest in peace. Yeah, it's really quite far from anywhere. But I'll sit on it. Oh, yeah. Nice view. So what we're looking at is at the arse end of OC over there. I think that must be that Mayland Sea. That's the I want to say Marconi Sailing Club, yeah, and Steeple is further inland. So that must be Mayland Sea, I think. And then further around is Bradwell Waterside, can't see that from here. Okay, well, there might be some nice twinkly lights to look at this evening. No great ocean going liners or anything, but little villages on the other side of the river, which might be nice. Yeah. Yeah, right, 10 minutes then. Have a drink and I think just relax and enjoy. Try and remember to actually enjoy some of this week, you know. Yeah, still out here. 7:10. So I reckon I've got about an hour of daylight left, but that looks like it's going to go into some clouds as it sets anyway. Which means it's going to get a bit darker and gloomier earlier perhaps. I mean, that all looks quite menacing cloud-wise, but actually that's just going to be overcast. I've just checked. Yeah, just checked the Met Office, right, and they say, right, it's going to be okay. Yeah, there's no rain forecast, less than 5% chance of precipitation for this area for tonight. So that's going to just come over like a blanket and keep the night temperatures relatively high. It won't be like open starlight and condensation all over everything in the morning if that overcast stays up, so that's good. It actually helps, that's actually good. Yeah, so yeah, I reckon about 1.5 miles short of where I thought I was going to get. It's not bad considering I had 2 hours stolen from me today, so I might just start looking for something soon. Actually, like that forest there, little copse. I don't know, is that plantation or something? It's got a meticulously trimmed hedge all the way around the outside. Who knows what goes on in there? Druidic things, possibly. Or pheasant rearing, I don't know. Maybe it's someone's house in the middle. Anyway, I'm not going in there. No, I'm going to try. I like to try and keep it path adjacent where possible, you know, right of way adjacent. So probably down in that side there. I haven't seen evidence of it being patrolled by 4x4s. I mean, there are wheel mark grooves in it, but they're not fresh. And it ought to be possible to pull to one side and get a tent up out of the way, even if something does come through in the middle of the night, which is quite unlikely. But we'll see. Let's see. This is the time I start canvassing for spots now. Canvas, see? Yeah, I probably won't make it to where I wanted to be, Tollesbury Pier Head Rail Wick thing, but that's alright. It's only about 1 mile short or so by the time I stop, I think. Pick that up tomorrow. It's just if it gets too dark to continue, I won't. Still need to. I mean, I can broadly do my tent without seeing it, you know, by touch alone, but it helps to have a bit of a glow in the sky still. So yeah, just start looking for decent spots now. Going to sleep well tonight, I think. Well, that might have to be it. There's a big section with actively grazing sheep in the next bit, and I think that goes on for at least another mile or two. So I can't go in there, even though they have really kept the grass nice and tidy. That must be tomorrow, I think. Right, well, dog door, so obviously dogs come through here. Must be on leads. So I'm thinking somewhere around here actually. I don't know if it's a farm track or a public road. I have to look that up, but I think just off to one side in some of this greenery. The dike itself makes an excellent wind shade from that direction. Doesn't look like it's too inundated down here. What have we got here? Oh, a lot of spiky thistles, and I know my current ground sheet is not very thick, so I need to be a bit careful with that. Look at this, brambles. Dear. Well, okay, over this side. We'll do it on the actual gravel. The grass would be useful. We've got here a few thistles in there, I can see. On the whole there. Yeah. Something around here. Don't want to block the actual gate because that then constitutes as aggravated trespass, but as long as I'm not in anyone's way, that's the way to do it. Alright, well I'm going to have a scout around. I don't think I'm going to get much further today anyway. So somewhere around here, do the thing. I'll probably talk to you again soon, and once I've set up and sorted myself out. But yeah, it's not bad. It's about 1.5 miles short of where I wanted to be, maybe 2 miles short. It's alright, pick that up tomorrow. Just hope no boy racers come thumping down here late at night and doing donuts and whatnot. What am I looking at with these tracks? Well, we'll see. I'm sure I'll be alright Sunday night. Good. Pushing on a bit. Had a quick look on Google Maps, found somewhere that might be a bit better. Yeah, there we go, this is better. So we're out of the sheepy bit. And look, lots of unused grass down there. Now, I saw those cows and was worried, but they appear to be the other side of that drainage ditch moat thing, so I think they're probably fine. Yeah. Oh, I see. So bits of fleece, and that's people have tracked that, or whether there'd be a lot more of them if there were actual sheep in this bit. Oh, it'll do, it'll do. Not sure I can get much further today anyway. There's Bradwell Power Station. There's the Ross Revenge, aka Radio Caroline, still there. Apparently you can do little day trips onto it, but I think that's all organised from Mersey over there. That hill in the background is Mersey, none of the lights are on yet, but that'll be twinkling merrily before too long. So I think that one was St Lawrence over there. So that must be Bradwell Waterside in the background that way. Yeah, and no actual road access here apart from further along into that field. Not less likely to be disturbed by late night boy racers or whatever. Yeah. Well, like I say, as long as I don't block the gate, I don't think anyone's going to bother me. There's bits of sheep fleece here and there, but I think they might be much further up that way. I don't know, I'm not seeing any droppings, certainly. Unless that's all blown over from in this part, where there are loads. I'd be able to keep sheep both sides of that. I can see some in the distance, but I don't know if there's another gate between here and there. I'll have to have a zoom around. Unless they just escaped. I mean, sheep are fairly tame. I mean, they're not aggressive, they're just curious. I just don't want them, you know, bumping and rustling around the tent in the night while they're trying to eat it. So there might even be goats. Well, that campsite I camped in that I paid money for to camp in Tintagel had loose sheep in the field. I heard them tearing grass in the middle of the night next to the tent. Didn't damage the tent at all, so it's probably fine. Anyway, yes, right, so that's another go at scouting out and setting up. Probably be down here. It's going to get dark, too dark to film well soon, so. Yes. Yeah, I don't think I can get much, well, certainly not into the next field and beyond. Right, okay, let's have a little look-see. Now I've seen fresh sheep droppings in this bit too. So I need to continue about another mile to the next fence and stile. Good to go back to that car parky bit, I guess, but don't like going back on myself really. And I've got about half an hour before sunset, and then there'll be a bit of light after. I know what I'm doing in the dark, so plus the darker it is, the better really for what I'm doing. I don't know, I don't know. Yeah, no, I'm seeing the actual fresh droppings on the path, so that's a no. This is a field in use. So keep going until we find the next stile. Can't all be livestock along here. Gonna sleep well tonight. Oh, bloody hell. Oh, I pushed so far trying to get clear of this sheep field that, well, I mean, the pierhead that I was after is just on that corner by the end by the lake, so I might as well just keep going. So I think it'll be another 10 minutes to get there. I've got, oh, there's the sun. Wow, magnificent. Hang on, see if I can zoom on that. I feel like in a horse and coach, madly trying to get to Castle Dracula before the sun sets. 20 times zoom. Fantastic. Having trouble focusing, as you might imagine. Okay, so yeah, I got about 20 minutes until sunset proper. It is 1 minute past 8 o'clock. In loving memory, Colin Wright, 1958 to 2013. That's a bench and a half. Curly's Perch. Oh, look, it's got a blog. There you go. Go there to learn more about it if the account's still as active or anything. Hasn't been deleted in a long time to know. So still not enough flat space around here. It looks like another stile over there now. If there's wild grazing in there, then I'll have to double back and try and do something with something around here, because it really is getting late now. But if I reach the far end of here before it, and the point where it turns left on the end, that's basically the original mileage I was going to do today. Well, that's promising. Bear that in mind. Let's see what we got here. If there's wild animals in here, then I may have to think again. Is your dog under control? Okay. No right to cycle. Okay. I'll have to study the path for droppings. Seriously, that's what I'm doing. It's like proper bushcraft and everything. Yeah, cutting it fine, but it looks like I might actually get to the point I wanted to get to all along, despite my 2-hour train fiasco. Alright, well, if that doesn't satisfy me, I'll have to come back up here and do something with something around here. It's all a bit, I mean, there's definitely no grazing in here, but it's all a bit lumpy and slopey. I'm not sure I'll be able to fit. Let's see what we can find. Ah, there we go, made it. Sun setting, literally, as we watch. Yeah, so at one point that was a railway, I think, coming through here, and then coming up to here, which is the remains, the ruins of the railway pier. And I think that might work just fine. Grass, which means it doesn't get inundated at high tide. It's high enough not to. And big enough, probably, and I doubt anyone's going to need access to there tonight. That's just kind of what I was hoping. There'd be something. Or failing that, go the other side. Fair bit of grass there to choose from as well. And I literally can't go any further because the sun's freaking set. So there we go. Anyway, made it. 13 miles in, I don't know, what's it, 8:30 now, 2:30 start, 6 hours, yeah. Solid 2 mile an hour throughout, mostly. Oh, it's getting too dark. It's saying it's too dark for sturdy, super sturdy. So I'm going to sign off here and talk to you again in the morning. We can have a proper look at all that in the daylight, probably, and all this signage as well. But for now, I need to arrange for somewhere to sleep. So, speak to you again soon. Goodbye. Good, sorted. Although, that's just something I saw, nothing to do with me. Right, yeah. See you again tomorrow.